My last run felt so crazy lucky that I feel like I just need to run a Cruci Zero Peglintuition run and try and see how hard I can high roll yet again. I think we'll take Refresher Course because I think Refresher Course has the highest high roll. Super Boots is also not bad though. It's really quite solid. Refresher Course has a lot of interesting things you can do. I doubt we'll be doing them though. It's just not very likely. Oh no bomb, sure. The map looks pretty mediocre. I'm not too pleased with it. Yeah, not too pleased with that. A lot of the stuff is not aligned very well, unfortunately. So refreshing having 2 refreshes and 2 crits. Baseline. Since obviously it's quite easy to get to. I can do that, right? Apparently I can't. It's quite easy to get to 2 refreshes, 2 crits, but starting off with that, it's a very different story. Boom. New collateral damage. I'm not taking a collateral damage this early, especially when the shops look like the way they do now. But it is actually pretty tempting. I feel like you can actually get some decent use out of collateral damage, and like if you pick one early up, you can pick passives or orbs that counteract the downside of the self-damage that it has, and then you're just looking at the upside of it's really good in some specific Area 3 fights, and it's also decent AoE, which means it's good in Area 2. Which is basically the only thing it was useful for before. Don't think it's an obelisk one. But now it actually has something more, which is what I really like about it, because it's the kind of orb which just needs more things that it can do. And that's what it has now, but whether or not it ends up actually being something, or maybe I'm just overstating things, you know, there's maybe different things. Since I'm always a bit higher on orbs immediately after they're patched, and then it takes me to some time to realize that it's still just trash. I don't know which orbs I'm talking about in particular, but it's definitely happened before for some orbs. And passives. There are some passives which I look upon with a very generous eye, because it got recently changed, shall we say. Yeah, not the most fortunate. We didn't really manage to get the bombs that I would usually love to be getting. Perfect. Ooh, did we get a 60 damage there? Amazing. Obviously, we took way more ping damage than one would enjoy. But it kind of just works out anyway. We're going to be pretty well stacked for cash just before the shops. Although, questionable on whether or not we are going to shops, I guess. I'll have to check. Because, like, it looks pretty good, but also, that's very expensive. Alright, I've done a good job of dodging the refresh there. The other refresh, not so much, but it reshuffled itself into a better position. I do feel like I need to be kind of worried about this fight. Because let's try and go straight down. Thank you. That's fine. I mean, like, you hit a lot of pegs. So in theory, you could have actually done something as well, but I didn't need you to, and I wasn't aiming for you to. Because, you know, like, you're a daggle, so you don't expect you to do anything. On a non-crit. On a crit, I expect you to be the highest damage over my deck by now. It's actually kind of unfortunate. Can I get this shot? Damn, I can't. And because I went for a fancy shot, now I have a peg in my way. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Do I go for another fancy shot? Well, at least it cleared a peg, right? At least it cleared a peg. That 100% gets a kill there. And then if we get a crit next shot, we'll get another kill. Good stuff. But we're walking into elites with less health than one would like. Pebble costing 25 cash. Not happy about that. I feel like it should cost 15. That would change the rules for how you pick them up, but I think that's pretty fine. They changed the rules for shops, although shops kind of follow different rules. It didn't always though, so no reason why we can't also see change in picking up orbs. Already having on the circle is actually super valuable. It's just slightly more damage, and slightly more damage is pretty valuable. Okay, this sucks. Just quite a bit. Boom, maybe you hit a crit. I mean, the chances you don't hit a crit are extremely low. Let's get that bomb, and apparently that's it. Let's claim that refresh, let him get a smack on me, and then shoot straight down, please. Because if we shoot straight down, the chances we hit this crit Oh, pretty good. As long as the peg board refreshes. Wow, that was actually exceptionally close. As long as it refreshes, we should have gotten a kill. And we did get a kill. Oh, well, that's exactly the kind of thing we're looking for, healing. Critical is a cool passive, but if I'm comparing it to healing, I think we know which one I'm taking. Even with a dagger. Sure, popping on has been nerfed. It's only 1 per 15. That's not much. But it's most certainly worth it, especially when we're going to be playing with Peglintuition RNG, which is always much stronger than you think. Like, sure, it can get every single class's relics and orbs, and a lot of them suck. But it's just so good at finding them anyway. Peglintuition is just so nice. Like, I've played it quite a lot, so Peglintuition is just naturally very enjoyable for me. Talk about very enjoyable, Blue Lightning is there, but I think I'll be missing out on that Blue Lightning because I feel like I can do a little better this run. I like the new orbit story. Obviously, we're not going to be able to proc it this time, but I can get 2 question marks, which I'll most certainly be taking. Some decent stuff there. Taking a remove is a bit whack, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah, nothing of note to do there. Fresh bandana, we're on stick. We're definitely going to take the fresh bandana because that's more scaling, more refreshing, more damage, more pegs. It's just more everything. It's really quite solid. You notice it's really quite solid, this tag up here. We have Flaunty Gauntlets, and that's really a very nice passive for this fight. Bit unfortunate, despite having 3 refreshes, we've somehow ended up in a not so ideal situation. But that's what this shot is for. Just completely solves all of our problems. Yep, this is very much a Dagold fight. And having the 45 Delusion was very nice there, but we didn't actually end up needing that. Yeah, so as I thought, Peglintuition RNG is extremely incredibly good. And you may notice that we were taking a beating earlier on, but I kind of just knew it would be fine, so it was. I'll invest everything because I can. I don't think it's going to pay out, but oh wow, I have big regrets. Very big regrets. Plus 0 gold. It's one of the only times I'll be seeing that. Can I take a... It's very silly, but I'll do it. Let's roll. Especially if we get a first shot that looks like this, like, geez, that's just a ton of damage. Especially since it's also getting closer to scaling me. Like, obviously I didn't want to discard there, but I felt it was pretty necessary I did. Pip's still not worth it, but whatever. No refresh course. I mean, refreshing punch proc. Nice. Ideally we get a dodge, not now. Damn. Great stuff. Look at all that damage. 2 bombs, 100 damage. We're just tearing through him. As I said, like, sure, remove's definitely not the most ideal because I kind of need all of the orbs in my deck so that I'm reloading less against this guy because he can be quite an issue. But it's also just pretty fine. I kind of just have the damage to burn through. I missed it. I was actually really hoping to hit that. You memo might actually be interesting, but I don't know. I don't think so. Shell, Heavy Hand, Sapasack, Screed. I think Shell's definitely the obvious pick. Heavy Hand now does come with an extra downside, so picking up is likely not the wisest. But it was still extremely tempting, let me tell you that. I'm just going to aim straight for this, and we'll do that. It was a pretty bad shot, but hey, look, it worked out. What can I say? We can do double shot potentially. Alternatively, yeah, they're not really. Neither of them are that good of an idea. Talk about that good of an idea. That shot was absolutely horrendous, but it all worked out because I hit a bomb. Yeah, Shell is just really good with the stuff we have because we have all the refresh stuff going on. Along with, I probably should have aimed at a refresh, you know? The like scaling and stuff. And it's also like more Delusion, which is also extremely nice. We just got a 32 dodge effectively and a 16 dodge effectively. Very impressive. Talk about very impressive. That's I'm looking forward to the amount of cash we're going to be printing by entering these question mark nodes. Because it should be pretty impressive. We do have navigation inflation, I believe. Yeah, we do. That's good to see. Navigation Inflation is always a very nice passive to have. I am kind of sad I did not pick up the starting Super Boots, because obviously Super Boots and Navigation Inflation is just extremely nice to have access to, so that you can just fully greed without any repercussions. Last that is not this time. Cool, good stuff, good stuff. I really wanted that bomb. Why exactly I wanted the bomb? Not fully sure, but I'm sure it'd be handy. Probably should have shot towards the crit, because with Shell, my crits are kind of required for me to deal damage most of the time. Unless Refresh Course properly scales up, which it is exceptionally good in doing so, but yeah. I'm trying to basically collect every single scrap of cash on the map. Perhaps not the most wise idea, due to navigation inflation, but I think it's pretty fine, especially since navigation is forced. Okay, then. Maybe it's not the most fine idea though. That's gonna get a crit, should get a kill, does not get a kill. Sure. You wanna not get a kill? I'll just get it next shot. And I've still got pretty exceptional healing going on. What even my healing? Ah, popping on, yeah. Pretty exceptional healing. I knew I had it, but I couldn't remember exactly what it was. Alright, I'm saving that one last coin. Oh, that was... Oh, a crit. There's more than one last coin, in fact. And I only just noticed that. Yeah. Oh wow, look at that shot. Cool. Plus 33 cash. You gotta love it. Upgrade on the Dagob is also amazing. It's really good for mounting through single target elites. Oh! I thought that was a sound for... What's it called? The Sprouting for Investment, but no, that's all its story. Cool, cool, cool. I guess we're taking Sand Arrows. It's really good against some bosses. Obviously, against Demon Wall, it's pretty useless. So, in fact, we'll take Ambidextrary because if I'm not getting use out of it immediately, I don't care. Area 2 boss is one of the best ways to get use out of it. I swear that costed 50 right? There's no way I don't take it, right? It's just a cool, fun new orb, so yeah, I'll take it. It's definitely not good right now. And unfortunately, it is very heavily affected by the decreased damage from Shell. But it should be very good later on. Let's try and earn back our cash. We don't have any more question marks though. So I do plan on going to another shop, right? Or I could try and print cash. Honestly, both of those strategies seem fun. It pierces all enemies. But it's a pierce all, dude. Does pierce all get reflected normally? I don't remember. Oh, it definitely doesn't get reflected if it does that. Yep, very solid damage, I think. Yeah, impressive enough. Quite happy with that. What if? I don't know, that seems pretty worth, right? Like, what do we get here? Oh, 3 passives plus another passive. That's probably more worth it, right? I don't know, it depends how well we want to stack up cash for Area 3, right? Like, we get so much cash for going left, and we're getting more Proximate Orbit Story, both of which sound really good. Alternatively... Depends how much cash I get in this fight. If I get, like, really good post-combat greed this fight, which I definitely won't, then... This is a tough call. I took the refresh move because I think that despite Unicorn Horn being much better, I'd probably rather not take Heavy Hand in general. As well as I really want Potion Highroll. Potion Highroll would be amazing. Let's just shoot the funnel. I don't expect it to do much. I guess that counts as doing something. I am kind of trying to not collect a lot of cash. Don't know if that's wise actually. So I'll go and collect that stuff. Leave some of the stuff on that side open. Upgrades on Jupitorb. Whatever. Ooh, short. That's really quite solid. Don't think I'll try and... Sorry. I totally forgot that I picked up Enhanced Air. That is 2 runs in a row now, right? Man, come on. Sure. I guess that just happens sometimes. I guess one of the reasons why I really should have gone left is because potentially I get my IOU back. And it would be nice to get my IOU back, I just don't think that I will. I've literally never gotten it back, I'm not even kidding. So if we bounce off a coin, we're all good. Let's bounce off a coin then. Where's our coin that bounce off of there? That's a pretty easy coin to bounce off of. I like that. No, you want me to get more cash? Sure. I bounced straight through 2 other coins. 154. Cookie is really quite solid. I would say that the remove here is much more valuable, but let's just do that. Signing the circle is nice. I need scaling against this guy, and this guy I just need to scale actually as well. Would you look at that? I just need to scale. Let's just reset. Go ahead. Yep. Man, really sad that I missed out on that passive, but nothing. No one to blame but myself for that. I need to pay more attention to just having short fused or on hard stat, because it seems like I just keep missing it. Which is really not what I want to happen, but I have 3 in a circle. That is exceptionally impressive, and unfortunately my shots are extremely good at hitting crits. I did shoot on that side, which I feel like will lead to hitting a crit, yep. And I still have none, that's crazy. The fact that I have no finesse yet already is nuts. I really wanted to get a kill there so I could shoot a dagger. Now I'm just going to try and high roll again and shoot this thing. Because surely it gets me a spin. Oh my god, that's 5 in a circle. That is really, really impressive stuff. I don't have any AoE damage left. That was a really, really bad shot, wasn't it? Just an exceptionally bad shot all around. Whatever, let's pull off this shot, which is going to be quite solid if it does not hit a crit. It did not hit a crit. Alright, surely you can grant me 1 finesse, right? So I can actually deal damage? Oh my god. You gotta admit, it's pretty funny. Like, how many times can I not get a spin? Oh my god, I finally got 1 finesse. All it took was me getting 7 in a circle. That is some pretty impressive numbers. Jupitorb, another upgrade on Jupitorb would be fun, but I'm not doing it. Exploitable? Sorrow. Ballpeen Hammer. I think the most interesting facet there is Sorrow. I think it's got some very cool setup potential. As I mentioned, let's just tear through this guy with the power of refresh scaling. It's just definitely the most important thing this fight. Cool, let's get off a good... I do want to get off a good dagger hit, but let's just keep scaling. Grab a Spiness, yeah, don't mind if I do. I think Spiness is really, really the stat I want in this fight. Sounds perfect. Smash, yeah, really good. Tearing through him. As I said, Spiness is indeed the stat I want. Yeah, I feel like shooting Jupitorb on an edge is a really bad idea, but... I really wanted to hit a crit, and I felt like that kind of guaranteed a crit. Let's get a crit there, please, thank you. Solid damage because of that, nice. And I just need to keep up solid damage, right? And Daglob is pretty good at getting solid damage. Unfortunately they didn't split, but still 500 damage, so... You know, 500 damage is 500 damage. I'm not going to complain, but you do need slightly more in Demon Wall per shot, don't you? Maybe I'm just thinking about higher Cruci levels. Alright, so my circle good. I do need that for my shots that don't hit crits, which is probably the pebbles. Jupitorb, very solid. I'm pretty sure that should hit a crit. Give me a solid 700? Not quite. Cool. Wow, he's actually getting exceptionally close, isn't he? Give me... not my circle is what I was hoping for. That should be a crit. I feel like 1k damage should have been on the table there, wow. Well, he got way closer than I would have liked. But yeah, he's dead. Refresher Course is just a really, really good orb if you want to scale. And that's why I took Refresher Course. Oh, hello. Would you look at that? Yeah, Peglintuition is pretty good at high rolling, apparently. So, there is the question of what's better, a bomb high roll or a refresh high roll. I think that in this scenario, it's pretty undoubtedly a refresh high roll, but both are exceptional. As you can see, I got a lot of stats there. It would have also been a ton of healing. And I can't do double chop, and I can only do 1 shot. If I'm only doing 1 shot, I would rather do this shot because it has 4 question marks. And question marks are quite good for us right now, especially because of Orbit's story. So this Jupitorb actually just way stronger than I thought it was. I think it's a very, very fun orb. As to how strong it is, though, I didn't think it was that strong, but that was pretty crazy. Oh, let's be real. The refresh comp is insanely crazy, so it's not too surprising there. But the fact that it can just zap across the board is... Oh, it's also an AoE, I forgot about that. I honestly forgot about the fact that it was an AoE, I wasn't even considering that. Yeah, Jupitorb's really good, isn't it? Sure, it lacks the damage. But there are ways you can scale your damage, as I think this run has proven very aptly. Press the button because I can, yes. After all, why not? Yes, 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 yes. Are we fighting Coin Dragon? Do I care if we are fighting Coin Dragon? Not really. Yes, hitting refresh is important. However, we happen to have 13 of them? 13 of them. So I'm not too worried about that personally. I believe they're all just dead. Yes. Very nice. We're going to keep increasing our max HP because we can. It doesn't actually matter. Oh, this is kind of hard navigation, but yeah, we got it. I need to not mess it up, is what I was saying. Oh wow. Would you look at that? Shall we see... Let's do a quick compare of Matyorbska versus Jupitorb. See which one is better, because I think that they're both exceptionally good. Ah, cool. Orbit Story getting another proc. Intentional Overhaul against Coin Dragon is absolutely nuts. I would recommend you pick it up a lot of the time. I'm going to hold off on the passive because I don't need it right now. Tumor Circle per reload. We've got a treasure chest down there, which I will definitely be taking. So I can still get Reduce, Refuse, Recycle, I believe. So I am just holding out for that. That's the sole reason why. I am not planning on missing this battle. I personally think, well, Matyorbska does have the big benefit in this boss battle of there's only one enemy, and that's where Matyorbska really does shine. But I still think that Jupitorb can get a lot done against Coin Dragon. Especially since Matyorbska is not the best at actually digging for refreshes, whereas Jupitorb can very naturally just snipe them, and if they all bunch out, then it's even better, right? And we've got so much healing though, so the health that we lost from the rigged bombs barely matters. Sorry, Sappers of course, why would I refer to them by their correct name? I mean, yeah, Matyorbska's getting a ton of damage, we're not surprised here. It is refresh comp, so of course it's getting about as much damage as you'd expect a refresh comp to get. We still have a chance for a... Oh my god. I feel so bad for Ghost whenever you get him with Leaf. It's just so nasty for him to deal with. The good news is it's also nasty to get on some other fights. I feel like the turn Knight has been buffed so much recently, and all of it was basically indirect. Salt Shaker, Mental Mantle, Dungeon Die. We'll take a little Salt Shaker because I don't want to take Mental Mantle. I want all my damage sources to be direct so that I can get a easier compare between Jupitorb and Matyorbska for the final battle. Refill of Us is very cool, but I will just take a Haglin's Hat because Haglin's Hat is going to be a ton of healing in the boss fight because we're going to find Refilosopher's Stone. Yeah, that's fine. I'm of course joking, but it's fun to dream. And Refill Buster, as I was just explaining, is another source of damage. That's the very reason I didn't pick up. Because my orbs are just going to wreak havoc. But yeah, Turn Knight, like there are just so many changes where you suddenly really don't want to fight Turn Knight. Which is interesting. I like it because I feel like Turn Knight was one of the easier bosses to control previously. At least to control in Area 3. And now that's slightly less the case. I'll upgrade that because I don't need it. Molliflower, Refreshive, Peg Bag. Obviously, as fun as Peg Bag is, it's definitely just Molliflower. And as fun as Refreshive is, I mean, it would have been amazing last run, right? But this run, it's certainly going to be pretty useless. Can we get a kill turn 1? I'm not a believer, but I think we can get at least a solid 2k damage. I should have been a believer, right? So, what's better between Matyorbska or Jupitorb? Jupitorb was certainly incredible in early Area 3. Like, I pulled out so much AoE damage on that first shot, it was actually kind of crazy. I am very interested to play with Jupitorb further, and I think that one of the strategies, I didn't mention this towards the start, but you could kind of tell with the way how I picked up Refresher Course, is I think that it's really important that you pick up scaling sources when you see them. Because a lot of the scaling sources, I'm talking about passives mostly here, but there are some very good orb scaling sources. But having access to scaling is actually just so helpful. Because it opens up your avenues, like I could just take a Matyorbska show and it meant I could still take this low damage orb that is an AoE and probably is hitting a ton of pegs. Because now it's dealing damage, and especially once I hit the leaf, the scaling that it had was pretty nuts. Yeah, as I expected, like, I would say that that was one of the rougher starts we've had, especially for Cruci Zero, right? But Peglintuition can just completely recover from that, especially since like I got the popping corn and it was pretty fine from there. Flawney is very nice into a few fights. I didn't get that much use out of it this run. I didn't verse a lot of the I didn't take a lot of the big hitters like the Demon Wall mini boss like Crossbow or like Minotaur. Usually I would expect a bit more use out of Flawney Gauntlets, especially if you can also find like Mask of Joy, because Mask of Joy Flying Gauntlets is a really, really fun combo. Mask of Joy is also just really good in general for buffing up things like Refresher Course. It's really handy to have access to, as per normal. Like, you didn't pay out. Like, what are we expecting, right? I'm never going to get the IOU payout, even though I'm going to keep investing everything into it. Maybe it's actually like more likely to show up if you only invest half, but I mean, yeah, whatever. Sprang's for investment. If only I'd known I was going to pick up the Sprang's for investment, because that would have given me a lot more cash that run. It actually would have been really nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. Would have been able to buy more passives in the store. Maybe would have seen a reduce, refuse, recycle in with even more cash, even though it wouldn't have really been that helpful. Sounds good. Very sad I missed out on that bomb passive, but it's always nice to have the bomb combo just to collect some more passives. What did we get from it? I believe it was Haglin Sap. I mean, that's a very decent passive to just get for free, right? But yeah, overall, I think they're actually impressively close. Obviously, Matyorbska is like the ultimate boss killer and can be modded in like via your passives to have Pierce to do all kinds of things so that it's absolutely dealing with enemies. But Jupitorb is baseline and AoE, and like if you attach it with Show or presumably also what's the constricting chains? New constricting chains is really interesting. Then I think it can actually be pretty on par with Matyorbska. I think they're very good, both of them. I don't think that Jupitorb is a pickup every single time, especially if you already have like a Matyorbska and Pierce and stuff like that, like an Olga. Like sign me up. But I think they're very on par in terms of you're going to get a lot of use out of it, and it's probably going to be one of the better orbs in your run a lot of the time, as long as you can support it. Matyorbska usually doesn't actually need the support, but yeah, like the Jupitorb, I was extremely impressed with this run.